Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Icewind Dale. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today as we explore the city of What's the name of the place? It doesn't say over here. That's fine. There's also a marker over there. Did I leave that? No. Those are... The game comes with colored markers? That's really nice. That's really nice. Now, we've been to a lot of places, and I've taken care, in between episodes, I've taken care of my inventory, and I have a dagger over here that we're not going to use, although I could use. I don't have any specialties on things, so yeah, we'll see, But the last episode we did a mission, and it was all kinds of fun, and this episode, I am going to start off by asking, look at that line right there. It kind of looks like a furry rat, says... Amadora. Yeah, Amadora, maybe. They're talking about a squirrel. We can't do anything about that. But, I was like, wait a minute. What do you mean a furry rat? A furrier rat than normal? Is that what you mean? Because it could be. But then I also remember that sometimes I hear people talk about rats as scaly. Which makes me think that it might be like this old wives' tale about what rats look like in certain parts of the world. Because you know, rats are furry. They have fur, and especially in winter, they have their winter fur, and also particularly, well, depending on where you live, obviously, and particularly because we're in Icewind Dale. This place is cold. People have been talking about how cold it is. Look at that. It's Hrothgar, our quest objective, effectively. Yeah, people have been talking about that. And can I take your stuff, Hrothgar? You don't mind, do you? It's all good, isn't it? I think it is. Should I sneak? Shadow fails. And it doesn't matter. I think. I've not been... Yeah, it's all good. This one is locked as well. I will fail the shadow check. I'll open that and see what this is. That sounds... Ooh. If you're reading this note, then obviously you are a thief, come to rob me of my hard-won riches. Sorry to disappoint you. Did you really think I would keep my valuables in such an obvious and unguarded place? Consider this note a warning. I do not care much for those who poke their nose where it doesn't belong. And anyone caught practicing thievery in the town of East Haven shall answer to me. Well, I have a solution for that. I can close that and pretend that it didn't happen. And it didn't. Also, I don't see, like, anything here telling me that I have been found out. So I'm going to assume I didn't get found out. And I didn't take that note either. So, thank you, Hrothgar, for allowing me to read the note.
Well met, friend. And welcome to my home. Make yourselves comfortable. But try not to break anything. Many of these curiosities that you see lying about have sentimental value.
Where'd you get all this stuff?
Oh, they're all remembrances of my adventuring days. Little trinkets and the like that I picked up here and there. More keepsakes than valuables, really. Leftovers from my days of fortune and glory.
Fortune and glory, eh? It looks to me like you've had more than your share of glory, if not fortune.
Oh, I've seen my share of fortune as well, rest assured. I've beheld more treasure than most kings, I'd wager. But it wasn't for coins that I fought and bled all those years. It was for something grander, more powerful than mere riches. Adventuring is something that is in your blood, not in your purse.
Well said. I too heed a similar call to adventure.
Indeed. Well then, this might interest you. I'm putting together an expedition of sorts, one which would surely provide opportunities for both fortune and glory. This is the business I wish to speak to you about.
Really? Tell me more about this expedition.
We've received word from Kaldahar, our neighbors to the south, that evil forces are stirring nearby in the spine of the World Mountains. I am organizing and leading a party from East Haven south to Kaldahar Valley to investigate. You look to be capable enough. Perhaps you'd like to join us. What say you?
What sort of evil forces are we talking about?
I don't really know. The messenger wasn't too specific. I suppose if you want more details, you could ask old Everard over at the temple, but time's a-wasting. We need to get this expedition moving before the snows seal off the pass to Kaldahar. So what's it going to be? Are you in or out?
Sounds exciting. Count me in.
Excellent. Glad to have you on board. I plan to assemble the rest of the expedition and set out for Kaldahar within a few days. With storms brewing in the mountains, I'd rather we depart sooner. But there are matters that require my attention here about town.
What sort of matters? Perhaps we could help?
Actually, now that I think about it, maybe you can help. Pomab, the local shopkeeper, has recently expressed concern over the rapidly thinning stock of his store. He's been complaining that the regular caravan from Caer Dineval is long overdue, and that if they don't arrive soon, he's sure to be out of business. Now, normally I'd take Pomab's whining with a grain of salt, but with heavy snows on the way, it would be best to make sure that caravan makes it through.
So what is it you want me to do?
I want you to find that caravan. Leave town by way of the South Bridge and scout the hills west of Loch Dinnershire, between East Haven and Caer Dineval. Caravans always stick close to the shoreline this time of year. Once you find it, see the caravan safely to East Haven. In the meantime, I'll assemble the rest of the expedition and make the final plans for our journey. Return here as quickly as you can. We must make for Calderharp Pass while the weather is favorable. Good luck. Safe journey.
Farewell. I am very curious to see how the traveling works in this game. I don't remember how it works in the second game, which is the one that I played the most. I didn't finish it either. But I think in this game it's similar to Baldur's Gate 2. And the second game is similar to Baldur's Gate 2, but with a little bit of a twist. But it could be similar to Baldur's Gate 1. And Baldur's Gate... I'll show you when we go to the world map. Today, our party arrived in the snowy lakefront community known as East Haven. That's not really what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is the missing caravan. There it is. Hrothgar asked us to find a missing caravan out of Caer Dineval. The caravan was carrying valuable supplies intended for East Haven. Hrothgar suggested that we take the South Bridge out of town and search for the caravan in the hills along the shore of Loch Dinnershire. We are to return to East Haven and to Hrothgar either with the caravan or with news of its mysterious fate. That's mostly just a recap, really, nothing new. Sometimes the journal, I should probably read it down here. Oh, there it is. That's how you... I was trying to extend the dialogue screen a little bit, but it didn't work. It wasn't working because this is the one that extends, not the dialogue screen. Let's look around a little bit. And what do we have in this house? We can't go into this house. I mean, we can. It just takes a little effort. Nobody. Nothing to steal either. Also, I noticed that there wasn't anything in Hrothgar's house, like anything that I could interact with and see the description of. I kind of am a little bit surprised at that. What do we have? A townsperson. And a staff? What do you mean? What is that? Was it... Oh, it's a spear. Oh. Excuse me, ma'am. I took your spear. Yes, can I help you with something? Yes, I wanted to ask you some things about East Haven. East Haven, lived here quite a span I have. Things have been getting worse of late. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about town? Well, since you're new in town, you'll probably have to get a room at the Snowdrift Inn. Yeah. I talked everything like that already. So thank you very much for the help. Oh, zoomed in. And we have a temple. What looks like one anyway. To me, to my eyes, because it's a pyramid. And Everard, exactly the person I was looking for. And also Akalia. Hello, my name is Akalia. I'm an initiate here at the Temple of Tempus. I help Everard maintain the temple armory and perform rituals. Well met, Akalia. I'm Cantor. You're an initiate in the Temporan faith, eh? I didn't realize that the Lord of Battles was so popular here. Tempus is revered a great deal by the barbarian tribes up here. They call him Tempos, with an O rather than an U. I don't know why we feel the need to point it out, but it's very important that you write it with a U rather than O. I say U, but it's an U. I get the... Never mind. We immigrants get a lot of conflict and violence in these parts, and people want to make sense of it all. Barbarian tribes, huh? How do they feel about the 10 towns being here? Capital T, by the way, because it's, I think, I'm not sure, I don't remember which ones they are. Icewind Dale is definitely one of them, but they're mentioned, it's part of the lore, obviously, of Faerun, but they're mentioned in the first Neverwinter Nights, I think, when they talk about Icewind Dale there. But that's about as far as I know, in terms of, as much as I know in terms of lore, in regards to them. It changes from season to season, from year to year. Like all things, they are mistrustful of immigrants and often view our settlements here as an intrusion on their land. Sometimes they trade with us, sometimes they war with us. Sounds like a love-hate relationship. At least they don't try to kill you all the time. It's just a part of our daily routine. We know that the barbarians are just a few peaks away, and we immigrants understand the danger that they bring into our lives. You said we immigrants a few times already. Where are you from? I'm originally from Neverwinter. I came here to aid Battle Lord Everard when the former war priest, Ranfeld, was killed in a battle against the barbarians near Bryn Shender. Oh, I guess those barbarians really don't like the immigrants too much. Or at least your previous war priest. Maybe the name war priest is not very, you know. It changes from season to season, from year to year, like all things. Yeah. Well, it seems like for short. So it seems almost pointless to live in such hard conditions. Aren't people afraid? It is actually part of a simple truth that we Temporans believe. Conflict is all around us. Every man and woman has something that he or she believes in, which they will die to promote or preserve. Tempus tells us that we should live for something of importance. If we kill, if we die, the same. We preach that conflict and war are vital to mankind's existence. Well, they're certainly vital to this game's existence. Am I right? Anyway, I agree. Even if we don't like the fact that it's happening, conflict is pretty inevitable in life. Exactly. That is why we East Haveners practice the Temporan faith and perform the rituals of the Lord of Battles. What are these rituals that you perform? We celebrate the Feast of the Moon in remembrance of the battle dead. We also sing the Song of the Sword, at least once a 10-day, because of the church's closed proximity. Yeah, this happens a lot in old games. In new games as well, but yeah. It's a temple, not a church, because a church is Christian. Although in D&D, there's a lot of things that are called churches. You don't, yeah, but yeah, that's an important distinction there, because, you know, it's a temple. But a Christian temple is called a church. It's pretty straightforward. Either way, because of the church's close proximity to the site of so many great battles, our aggregation also has local celebrations to remember all of the mighty conflicts that have raged across Icewind Dale. The most important daily ceremonies are the Feast of Heroes at high sun and the Song of the Fallen at sunset. I like these feasts. What local battles do you celebrate? We celebrate the Battle of Jerrod Stone. It's an important battle. I am pretty sure this is important. I'd tell you more about it, but Everard prefers that any questions about it be directed to him. He has somewhat of a different perspective on the teachings than most. Ask him about it if you see him. This is another way of her saying, if I tell you things that he doesn't agree with, he's going to punish me, or something. Although, probably not. I mean, I'm sort of jumping to conclusions here about the punishment. I'm just saying that he doesn't like it. She says that he doesn't like it. Well, how about the Feast of Heroes and Song of the Fallen? They're pretty straightforward. The Feast of Heroes is a meal that we eat at high sun. During it, we remember the final meal that each warrior eats before they enter mortal battle. The Song of the Fallen is a dirge that we sing at sunset as a daily memorial for those who have died in battle. Interesting. Okay. So, what's Everard like? Everard is still adjusting to his position here. I think he'd much rather still be serving temples on the front lines, but his duty is to guard this holy site. The site of Jerrod Stone. You should ask him about it. He knows more of the tale than I do. Maybe that's why I remember Jerrod Stone. It's, because it's the main point of the game. Yes, it's Jerrod. I forgot about his name. I was trying to, you know, during the intro, I was trying to absorb all the lore about things and all that, and I forgot about his name. That's the dude that died. That's Jerrod Stone over there. Right. The battle. I didn't realize it was a battle. I mean, I did, sort of. But the important aspect is that he threw himself into the portal. Then, of course, became part of the portal. So, Everard is both a warrior and a priest. How does that fit into the Temporan faith? It's actually part of a simple truth that we Temporan believe. I asked that already, yes. Well, I agree. I will see you later. And I will have a chat with Everard. Do we actually see the stone in here? We do not. We see a statue. Maybe the stone is in there. The glyph-warded door set into the floor appears to lead down into a chamber beneath the temple. There doesn't appear to be a way to open it. Everard?
Hrothgar mentioned there were strangers in town. What is it you want?
I'm Cantor. Are you the high priest of this temple?
Yes, I am Everard. Everard of Tempus, battle priest of the Lord of Battles. What brings you here?
Tempus is the god of war, is he not?
War is but one of Tempest's aspects. Warriors, true warriors, worship him as well.
You carry the scars of war, Everard. Were you wounded in battle?
These eyes have seen battle, yes. And my skin bears the mark of swords and axes. That was long ago.
Why
My
would...
place is here.
Yes. And why would you leave battle behind?
Because there are many ways one may serve one's god. I am of the Order of the Broken Blade. My duty is to watch this place.
Don't say duty like that. It just sounds like you're saying duty. Either way, Order of the Broken Blade. Maybe because he, you know, got... It's like he's not a fallen knight or anything, but he's like, he lost a battle, and they're like, okay, well, you're... Shh, go away. Either way, what about that?
Yes, we were warriors. Wounded in battle, our injuries now keep us far from the front lines. Still, we are fit to guard holy sites to our lord.
And this is a holy site.
It is sacred to Tempest, yes. It marks the field where the barbarian Jerrod gave up his life ages ago. He lies encased in stone beneath this temple.
What happened?
Jerrod was a shaman who lived long ago. He brought unity to the northern tribes and led them to victory against the army of Arakan, at the cost of his life.
How did he die? I was gonna... Well, we know how he died. I thought I was gonna ask how did they live, rather, because that would be interesting. But no, it's the death that he's remembered for.
Once Arakan saw his army routed by Jerrod and the northern tribes, he sought to bring the Hells to his aid. Arakan opened a gate to the lower plains.
But demons... Arakan would have been damning himself.
Arakan was an archmage. Storms moved at his word. Legions worshipped him as a god. Such men would rather damn themselves than admit defeat.
Yes, but if Arakan summoned demons to the battlefield, then the northern tribes would have been destroyed.
I do not believe that. Jerrod did. It is said that Tempest himself appeared to Jerrod upon the battlefield, and Jerrod took that as a sign.
Wait, you don't believe... If Arakan summoned demons to the battlefield, then the northern tribes would have been destroyed. With a dash instead of comma, but we can forgive it. He doesn't believe that they would have been destroyed if Arakan summoned demons to the battlefield? Or does he not believe that Arakan summoned demons to the battlefield? I think that might... I don't know. Because he's literally saying that he doesn't believe that the northern tribes would have been destroyed if he had summoned demons to the battlefield. That's what he's saying. The dat is what you just said, and that's what I said. When he says, I do not believe that. And Jerrod did. But, you know, Jerrod did not believe that. Or maybe he did, and he's just... I don't know. This is a weird phrase. Jerrod took that as a sign of what?
Jerrod believed Tempest was calling him to sacrifice himself for his people to ensure victory. And so he cast his body into the portal, his blood fusing it to stone. It lies entombed beneath the temple to this day.
Either way, the conclusion is still the same. Either he did believe that the tribes were in danger, or he believed that the portal was going to bring demons in. But what he's doubting is that his sacrifice was necessary. Either because they weren't in danger, or because there were no demons, which amounts to the same thing. Yeah, you sound like you don't agree with Jerrod's choice.
Jerrod had no need to sacrifice himself. Tempest's appearance was a test of faith, proof Jerrod's people had already won the field that day. Jerrod failed his god and died a coward's death.
He didn't need to sacrifice himself, he says. He's in denial, sort of. I mean, not because... He might not be wrong, but the point is he's not actually talking about why he didn't need it. Tempest's appearance was a test of faith. Okay. Proof Jerrod's people had already won the battlefield that day. Yes, they had already won it, and they would have to win it again, because demons would show up. Jerrod failed his god, okay, that's what he said, and died a coward's death. He's going to explain more, I'm sure. Are you sure his death was in vain?
One dies for Tempest with a blade in one's hand, not by martyring oneself within the embrace of infernal magics. Jerrod's duty was to stand with his comrades, not cast himself to his death when the field was already theirs.
His sacrifice may have prevented other deaths, though, because that's what I'm talking about.
Sacrifice? Let me say this of sacrifice, young one. Then we shall speak of this no more. Sacrifice is a death that has meaning. When it is in vain, it is not sacrifice. It is a waste. That is the lesson of Jerrod's stone.
Well, yeah, you're not really telling why it doesn't have any meaning, because that's what I've been trying to... I thought you were going to say that, but you don't say it. But it's obvious that's the definition of sacrifice. I also like that he says young one. No, I'm old. My character is 74 years old. Is he a human? If he's an elf, he's 1,000 years old then. Yeah, my character is canonically old. I think this happens a lot in older games than it does in newer games. But it still happens in newer games. It's just sort of a weird thing of like a... I think it's because, you know, young people play video games and it's easier to empathize with your character if your character is young and you don't think about their age. Because if you're young and you're playing an old character, you need to think about their age because, you know, it's part of a difference between the character you're playing and the person that you are. But yeah, we met let's see if the journal says anything. It tells the tale of our barbarian shaman sacrificed himself. Ooh, shots fired here by the journal saying sacrifice. Strangely enough, Everard... Well, I guess strangely enough, he's also shots fired. Everard seemed to have contempt for Jerrod and his sacrifice. A little, yeah. And this stone is buried beneath the temple?
Aye, a great stone disc that holds Jerrod's corpse for eternity. And so I watch and guard it in Tempest's name.
I see. I had some other questions I wish to ask you.
You are free to ask, traveler. I promise no answers.
But you give me plenty, don't worry about it. Because you don't need to promise them. You carry, the scars of war. Were you wounded in battle? Didn't I ask you, I think, this?
These eyes have seen battle, yes. And my skin bears the mark of swords and axes.
Yeah.
You are free to ask, traveler.
For sure, for sure.
I promise no answers.
Do you know anything about the expedition that Hrothgar is putting together?
I have heard of it, yes. A messenger from Kuldahar visited the temple not long ago, and it has spurred Hrothgar to see what is happening in the north.
A messenger?
Yes. A man from Kuldahar found his way to our door, and he was dead by morning. He claimed he was a messenger from the Archdruid of Kuldahar.
What did he want?
The man spoke of disturbances in Kuldahar. His wounds prevented me from making any sense of his words. Perhaps Hrothgar understood more than I, for he's preparing an expedition.
Are you going on this expedition?
No, for my place is here. Were I invited, I would still not go. My injuries would only slow the expedition.
So you were wounded in battle, like I said before.
These eyes have seen battle. You are free to ask, traveler. I promise no answers.
I heard, yeah, you told me there was a messenger who came from the temple. What's that glyph-covered door beneath the statue? I think I asked that already as well.
The door leads beneath the temple to the site of... You are free to ask, traveler.
I was wondering if we might pay our respects to the temple and perhaps receive some healing. Oh, no, that is the temple services that this game has. Oh, look at it. It costs a lot of money, though. I don't like it, and I never use them. Although they're basically the only way, in fact, to... Don't cast Raise Dead, I'm pretty sure that's bad. To get resurrection if your team member dies. If they get critically... I'm not really sure how it works. I don't know if it's a critical. I always thought it was a critical, but I don't think that's the case. Because I always had... Whenever I played this game as a kid, I always had helmets. And helmets protect against critical hits. Which basically, you know, they don't... Well, they make you immune to critical hits. But, so, it can be a critical, because I've seen my companions explode when they die. Especially the weaker ones. And I think it might be, like, if they take damage larger than the remaining health plus the maximum health. Because that's how it works in D&D 5. More or less. No, it is exactly how it works in D&D 5. But they can be resurrected in D&D 5. Then it's just the rules for resurrection is different in the newer versions. In these ones, if their body is desecrated, basically if they explode into chunks, then no resurrection for you. But that's how you do that. And some identification as well. Can I sell you the spear and the quarterstaff? Hi, just very nice. I can also buy some things over here. This is really good. Because I'm going to need to learn some of these spells. Remove curse, remove paralysis. That would be for our spellcaster. You're not a spellcaster. Oh, you have short bow over here. How exactly do you have a short bow? I thought I sold that. I'm still trying to come to terms with who is a spellcaster and who is not. Oh, look at that. Another scroll case. Another potion bag. I'll take those. Those are really cheap. Absolutely, I'll take those. We scroll flesh, stone to flesh. This is if you get petrified. Let's hope that we don't. But we do have a barbarian. I believe you get immunity to petrification the moment you go into rage. So that's pretty good. Let's see. Who's the spellcaster? It is you. Did I not get... Did I just sell the weapon that I wanted to keep? Maybe. No, not really. She did wear... Yeah, I think I know why that was like that. It's fine. We don't worry about that. She's gonna be doing some stabbing. So, now that we have... Let's put that trot over there. Now that we have more items than we had before, everything is good. And we, I think, are done in here. Can't go anywhere. So... We're gonna need to... I think we just need to deal with the missing caravan so that Hrothgar can send us... Well, that we can go in the expedition. He said it was gonna be in a couple of days, though, so if we rest, the days go by in no time. If we don't rest, they also go by pretty fast because the game has compressed the time. Which, let's see. Strange writing appears all over the walls of this small hut. The language is unfamiliar to you. What in the world? I heard there were new faces in town. Did you come with the caravan? Yes, I wanted to ask you some things about Easthaven. Easthaven lived here. Yes, you did. So, that's it, really. That's it. What is the strange writing? That's... Oh, no. I can zoom in and see. I see. Look at that. You can see more of it over here. Oh, that's curious. I wonder if she's, like, of the tribes. And the strange writing is strange because I don't know how to write in their language. It's good either way. Also, I might want to look at the map and see. It is not marked. Yeah, these houses are a little bit different. This one doesn't have writings, though. What is that? Various fishing poles and gaffs are stacked. They are indeed stacked over there against the wall and all that. But nothing. Okay. So, you might have noticed it before. Let's also activate this so I can see if there's anything. That passage doesn't go anywhere, I don't think. Yep, it doesn't go anywhere. But that one over here absolutely does. So that's where we're going. You see that icon? That's the icon to leave the map. And it's the only icon in this whole map, which means... Well, I guess we're going to find out what it means next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Icewind Dale. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.